Uh, Welcome to the next video. Today we are creating a video like solving the lab for VPC networks controlling access. So simply no need of focusing on some requirements work. Just come directly to the task one. What you have to do, open your cloud console. Next, then copy the password, paste it. As I have mentioned, you have to open your console in the every labs. So no need of taking any worries for that. As simple as that. Open it. So now we have to just type it VM instance. Okay, accept is as well, agree and continue. So now we have to create a virtual machine instance. Okay, so yeah, opening the virtual machine instance. So create instance. After you come to the create instance, this is the first instance you have to create, that is blue with the region west 1 and west 1c. I have also mentioned what region and zone means in my previous videos, you can also check it out. So basically coming over here, changing it to blue, west 1 and west 1c as mentioned, and then come to advanced options, networking, advanced options, networking. Over here in the network type, for network types, type web server. Okay, the network tabs, type web server. Okay, just check whether what you are copying, just take it properly and then click create. Okay, click create. Done with the blue. Now what we have to do, after it gets created, just check whether your process is completely done or not, check whether it's working or not. We are basically creating it here different type of instances in the virtual machine. One is the blue, one is the green, and also are going to install the nginx. Like we are going to make some changes in both the nginx for blue and green with some of the commands in like in the first task, and after that we are going to assign a firewall for it also. So like once it gets created, we are going to check, like yeah, you can see that here we got a green tick. So simply we are checking whether it's created or not. As you can see, assessment is completed, it is created. Now copying the green, creating instance, green, west 1 and west 1c as it is mentioned over here, click create directly, no need of mentioning any advanced options and all. Machine is already like maximum time you can see that the compatible machine for what we are using now is the E2. E2 means it is a medium type of machine with 2 vcpus, and it can also be picturized to more like 4 vcpu and all. So basically we choose E2 medium machine with 2 vcpu. Okay, refreshing it, let's check, yeah, it is also done. Check my progress. So now what we have to do, it is mentioned that open the SSH key, launch it and run this command and change and make the change in the nginx file. So for the blue we are opening the SSH, authorize, so copying the command from here, coming over here. Okay, opening it once again, pasting it here. Now come over here, copy the second command, paste over here. Once now you can see you are entered into the nano. What you have to do, you have to simply make the change over here, like it is mentioned that in the line where it is mentioned hy welcome to nginx h1, like it is a command. Basically what it can be said as, the person who would be knowing about more about the websites, they would be knowing it is a simple command of typing or mentioning something in your web. So basically we are coming copying this first header and would be replacing this header with this header mentioned over there. And after that we have to press Ctrl O, enter, and then Ctrl X. Ctrl O would simply save it. So it is over here. Use the arrow keys, down arrows and the right arrow, delete it, remove it, and then paste it. Once we are done, just simply type Ctrl O, enter, and Control X. Like once you are done with this thing, and then no need of typing like exit and all. uh, Once you are done with this, you can type exit also. No need worry of that. Exit. Okay, so now coming up to the green, opening the SSH. We are simply just, you can picturize what we are doing is that our website is already there, and we are just creating some of the changes in an nginx files that is existing. Okay, we are creating some of the changes in it. Pasting the first command, running, copy the second command, and we have also the same thing we have to do over here is welcome to the green server, just like that, only the previous one. The nano is open now. This is the line we will have to change. Guys, I feel like you all would be comfortable because I'm creating this video in English, because I feel like it would be helping you a lot. Same, Control O, enter, and Control X. Done with this, let's wait, let us check. But here, as you can see, it is mentioned to check whether it's working or not. Okay, so instead of pressing it exit, what you can see, just paste the same command, check it is working. Yes, you can see we have made the change over here, welcome to the green server h1. As you can see, our website is now perfectly working, and the change is also, then the change is also took place. So simply type exit and exit the SSH. Check my progress over here. Yes, we got a green tick. Now what you have to do, we have to simply engage a firewall. Okay, so over here, just simply search for firewall, VPC network firewall. What we have to do is that create a firewall rule, as it is mentioned over here. Create a firewall rule, copy this, paste over here. Network is default, target specify target tags. Network is default, specify target tags, it's already set up. Web server and IPv4 ranges. In the target tags, we have to fill the web server. And guys, this IP means that the normal IP address we are having, it's the same thing. Later, Google is also getting acquainted with the IPv6 also, so you can also follow with that. But till now, we are just following the IPv4 ranges. Here you can also see that IPv6 ranges are also available, and some personal source tags are also available. So till now, we are following with the IPv4, and for the source IPv4 ranges, this is the code that we are going to normally use it. Source IPv4, pasting it, and then after that protocols, for the check TCP type, check TCP type 80, TCP type over here 80, and then after that it's mentioned check other protocols, type ICMP. For the other part, type ICMP. What you can also do is that you can also open your equivalent command line, but over here it is not mentioned, it is not necessary, so no need of opening it. Simply just create it, and we are done with this thing. Sorry guys. So yeah, you can see that this is creating. It would take few seconds, I guess. Yeah, it is done. Now we would be checking like our progress is working or not. Yes, we are done with this thing. Now copy this thing and check and activate your Cloud Shell. Guys, as you, if you watch my previous videos, I have also mentioned more about the Cloud Shell and the console. Many students get confused between what is Cloud Shell and console, so better you check my previous videos also. Pasting it, giving it a authorize, And after that, what is mentioned is that the VM, the virtual machine we have created, we are just checking it whether it is working or not, whether it is passing the test case. So we are checking it now. As you can see, internal IP is also mentioned, external IP is mentioned, and as also you can see, this is in the running phase, means it's working perfectly fine. And for this machine type we used E2 micro. Okay, check my progress. Okay, so here see in the console navigate menu, compute engine VM instances. Note the internal and external IP address of blue and green. For test VM, click SSH to launch terminal and connect. To test HTTP connectivity to Blue's internal IP, run the following command replacing Blue's internal IP here. Okay, so what we have to do next is that come to the VM instances. As you can see, it's the test VM SSH. What is mentioned is that note the internal and external IP address of blue and green. Okay, for test VM, click SSH to launch a terminal and connect. Okay, so we are simply launching a terminal to connect, giving it the authorize. This is the test VM case that we have created from the last command. Our last command we have created this test VM. To test HTTP connectivity to Blue's internal IP, run the following command replacing Blue's internal IP. Okay, so in this following area, curl after curl, we have to simply place the Blue's internal IP. So the internal IP is mentioned over here. Blue internal IP is mentioned over here. We are just going to copy it and paste it. Command V, delete it, copy it, and paste it. So yes, you can see the change we made, it's working now perfectly fine. Welcome to the Blue server. As you can see, it's the change is also the change also took place. And for the green, what we are going to do is that pasting the same thing and changing it with its internal IP. We are doing this to like check whether the changes we made is working perfectly fine or not. That's why we are checking it in a test VM, like the virtual machine we created. As you can see, the green server is also working. The website is working perfectly fine for both the blue and green. Now we are checking the external IP also for both. We are going to now we are going to check the external IP. Now copy the blue external IP, paste it, working totally fine. Then copy this command, paste it, copy this external IP, run it. So yeah, we are done with that. What we have to do we have returned to that last task. Return to the SSH terminal of the test VM instance. Try to list available firewall rules. So now we are going to just check our firewall rules. So what we are going to do is that we are just simply going to write the command for checking all the firewalls list that we have mentioned. Paste it over here. Okay, so what you can do in this process is that uh, you can simply close it and you can open your SSH once again for the test VM. Open it once again, copy it, as the main thing is that once you're going to paste that command, it is going to show you a error, and that's the common thing it's going to show, because in the last slide it was messed up all, because our last command was also executed over there. So I have mentioned it in the new SSH key. So as you can see, we have got this error. This was the task, like we have to check whether that authentication is allowed or not. Okay, so we are done with that. As you can see, this should not work. So what we are going to do, we are going to copy this one, and it is mentioned that we are going to allow this HTTP web server, and we're going to delete that server from our firewall rule. Okay, so it's going to ask whether you want to delete it or not. So please simply type y, and error could not resource, as it is mentioned, it is going to show this. So what we are going to do now is that for the open the IAM and admin. So now we are going to create a service account. Now open service accounts. In the service accounts, it's saying that notice the compute engine default service account. Okay, so what you have to do is that now whether check what's existing. It's saying that compute engine default service account. This is we have to work on this one. So what you have to do, click create service account. Okay, in the service account name, type this and click create and continue to network admin, and click create and continue. For select a role, select compute engine compute network admin. For select a role, what you have to do, just drop it, just add the drop down and copy this thing, compute network admin. Copy this, paste it over here, and compute network admin, continue it. Okay, after creating the service account network admin, click on the three dots at the right corner and click manage keys in the drop down. Click on add key. So after adding the network admin, what you have to do, click on, after creating continue, press it done. So once you are done with that, in the network admin, and here it is mentioned that click on the manage keys in the drop down and click on the add key. So it is mentioned like manage keys. Okay, press it. After you are done with that, add key, and it says that create a new key, because we are not having any existing keys in the previous, like we haven't created any key till now. So we are going to add a new key over here. So select create new key and click create to download your JSON output. Okay, create new key, JSON, and create. Like tap it on the JSON and create. Once you are done with that, click close, and you are done with this thing. Rename the JSON key file on your local machine to credentials.json. So you can also name it to credentials.json, or maybe we can check that whether it's showing to be changed or not. Okay, let's check what's it's going to show the progress. If not, like as you can see, it's also showing that the progress is right. So what you can do is, now let's check what is our progress for now. As we are done with the progress, no need of solving for further, because it's mentioned all about the further process, how are you going to do it. So our main thing was that we created our instance, two type of instances, then we added a firewall to it. The firewall rule basically demonstrated what we are going to do, and in the next process we simply tried to delete that firewall that we created, the web server firewall, and after that we created a service account. In the service account, we basically like downloaded a JSON file, and then we are done with this lab, and totally, as you can see, we are having the score as 100 by 100. So yeah guys, this is all about this lab. So stay tuned for further labs, and subscribe to my channel, Cloud by Ryan.